Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to It's Something to Do with Pete and Will. We promise it's something to do.
Look at that. That's an upgrade.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to It's Something to Do with Pete and Will. We're promising there's something to do. And today we've got breaking news. I'm going to show all my books.
You're still working on that Grant book, and now you've moved on to a book about whatever other like World War II. This is
It's Flyboys.
I don't know what that is.
It's a book about World War II.
Of course it is. Of course it is. You've hit that point in middle age where that's what you're doing now.
For some reason,
Civil War generals and World War II books.
No, that is an entire joke. We want to congratulate Will for having a wonderful, wonderful son.
Yeah.
Will E. Marfuggi. Should I even say that?
The fourth.
Okay.
Yeah.
We put it
on
going
Instagram.
to ask. Oh, okay, good.
We put it on Instagram.
I was going to ask if you want anybody to know the name. It's puzzles.
It's yeah.
Oh, dude, that's such a big deal. Congratulations. What a massive congratulations for you.
Seriously.
Thank
you.
We couldn't be happier.
We've been home for a week. He was born last Wednesday.
How was all that?
I mean, was he born Wednesday? Yeah, he was born Wednesday. My sense of time is now just like
as if it wasn't before. Now it's really rattled.
Really, really, really confused. So Tuesday morning, McKenna at 7 a.m. my alarm goes off. I'm getting up and she goes to the bathroom, comes back from the bathroom, gets back in bed, and like 45 seconds later, she's like, I think my water broke. And she pops up, goes into the bathroom. She's like, I think it's happening. She's like, I was like, do you feel contractions? She's like, I don't feel anything, but the water broke. I was like, okay, well, let's call labor and let's call the hospital. Let's see if, we need to go in or if we need to wait a few minutes. We call them. They say, no, come in. It's your second baby. Come in. And so I call my mother-in-law. She's, 45 minutes away from here. So she like starts to drive over. And in that time, my wife is like, she's like, no, she's still not feeling anything. She's not feeling the contractions, but she's starting like mentally. She's looking at the map app and going like, hey, the traffic is crazy. It's going to take 45 minutes to get there. It's going to take 45 minutes for my mom to get here. I don't think there's enough time. We got to wake up Ava and throw her in the car. It's like, all right, let's wake up Ava, throw her in the car. We're like, you're going to the hospital with us. We're going on an adventure. She's like, oh, okay, fine. My mother-in-law meets us at the hospital. They get us into a room, get McKenna all hooked up, and she's still not feeling contractions. So for that whole Tuesday, she's really not feeling any contractions until I want to say like 8 or 9 o'clock at night. So it's just kind of like
you were there for days.
Yes. Yeah. So we were just like waiting there for the whole day.
Yeah.
Kind of. And, and in that time, our first baby was born, and we went into the hospital on a Monday night where they induced labor, and the baby wasn't born until the following, that Wednesday. So we were there for like overnight Monday. Tuesday, nothing happened. Wednesday, they moved us into labor and delivery. The whole day Wednesday, nothing fucking happened. And then finally the baby came first day. Yeah, I guess it was the Thursday morning. So
again, no fucks in the first 10 minutes. We're trying to get this thing sold.
So nobody's buying this, Peter. I think the sooner you realize that, the better off you'll be.
We're getting close. I had some bites.
So the whole time that we're this time, the Tuesday that nothing is happening, my wife is like, this is going to be another super long labor where it's like, this is not what I want, but this is the way it's going to be.
Sure.
She's mentally preparing herself for that. And then Tuesday night, then they finally give her the epidural at 10 o'clock. Like the contractions are bad enough to warrant the epidural for her in her mind.
Yeah.
They give it to her and they're like, okay, well, you're not super far along. So we'll check back at 6 a.m. and we'll see where you're at.
Yeah.
And then they left the room, and like an hour later, she was like really, like midnight. She was like, it really hurts. She's like really in a lot of pain, even though she's had the epidural. She's feeling a lot of pressure. And the nurse was like, I'm going to check just because we've moved you around a couple of positions. It should have alleviated some of the pressure. It's not alleviating the pressure. Let's just check. Checks. And she's like, I'm going to go get the doctor because this is going to happen really
Right
fast.
now. Yeah.
And so from that moment, by this point, it was probably like 1:15, 1:30, something like that. They bring people in and they're like, okay, as they're setting up, they're like, don't push. I know you feel like you need to push. Don't push just right now. They get like 90% of the way set up and they're like, all right, it's okay to push. And the doctor goes, he's like, don't worry, this baby's going to be out in an hour.
What did you have to do?
I'm there next to her.
Okay.
And,
because I told you the first one, I had to hold a leg.
Yeah, I didn't have to hold a leg on this one. I don't think they put her in the stirrups. And so I didn't need to hold a leg. I'm just kind of like holding on to her and cresting and trying to be supportive.
Hold on to the curtains, trying not to pass out.
And then they're like, okay, you can give it a little push if you want to. Give it a little push, just see what happens.
Yeah.
She pushes one time and the head comes out to like here.
Wow.
And then from there it was like 2 other contractions and the baby was out. And like,
that's
like
great.
15 minutes, the baby was out.
That's
and
great.
So
no complications or anything?
No, although yes, a little bit, but not for my wife. The complications are sort of yet to be seen. The first one was that because the baby came out so quickly, while we were in the hospital, he didn't pass his hearing tests.
Yeah, that happened to Bridget, and Bridget was freaking out.
Yeah,
but they put her on so much Percocet so she was just. And I think the technician probably shouldn't have done this, but he's like, she's not responding to these tests.
Mm-hmm.
And he shouldn't say that to the mother until they have actual confirmation. But
right.
Whatever.
So they take the baby. So that night, there are no complications. Baby's good. Mom is good. Everybody's good. He's not really he's a little bit fussy, and they're like, well, this is just what happens. Like, he came out super quick. He didn't have a chance to adjust. Like, he's probably a little freaked. And so the 12 hours later, they take him for the test and they bring him back and they're like, he didn't pass. That's pretty normal. And so we'll test him, after a full 24 hours, after the full 24-hour mark, they test him and he doesn't pass again. And at that point you start getting getting worried.
Yeah.
And the nurse came in and she was like, a nurse came in the next morning and he is following her with her eye. He's like, he's responding to the sound of her voice. And you had, in a moment like that, you're kind of thinking, oh my God, is my child hearing impaired, or can they hear? It
Mm-hmm.
seems like he's responding. It seems like when the door clicks closed, it seems like he's like, and kind of looking around for it. So but you don't know if you're correlating that or not. Since then, to alleviate any sort of, he's for sure responding to sound. And then you find out it's really only under the most pristine of circumstances can they get the accurate result, unless it's incredibly obvious. So my baby does not like to fucking sit still. He does not like to be
like you. I'm looking at your knee.
He does not like to be strapped down and held to anything. He's incredibly strong. We took him for a thing the other day, and they put him in a mold, and he kicked out of it twice. And they're like, oh God, I don't know what to do. It's like, we're going to need an adult to hold him down. And then you're like,
he's already in rehab.
Yeah,
you're
exactly.
like, when did you start drinking? You've been around for a week.
He's a full man now. So yeah, and he and I know that he responds to sound because every time he's nodding off, my daughter will come and take a wood toy and throw it right on the hardwood floor, and it'll make the loudest sound ever, and he'll be like.
So they didn't determine that it isn't a problem?
No, we have to go back for another test. And the crazy thing is,
they did ours a couple times, and the guy said he had calibrated the machine improperly.
Yeah, which is entirely possible.
Yeah.
Because it's like, well, they need to be asleep. They need to be asleep for 2 hours. You know, they need to have just been fed. And like, there's all these exact, and it's the same thing. We're gonna have to go to another UCLA facility to
Sure.
get this hearing test done again. And they're like, he's gonna need to be awake for 3 hours prior to the test. And then he's gonna need to sleep for 2 hours for us to do it. And first we have to like get him with like electrodes and then earpieces, and then he'll try to relax and go to sleep. And you're like, are you fucking serious?
I can't go to sleep like that. I'm
He's
44.
not going to do that.
I mean, I'm
He's not gonna
33.
do that. And this is like when he's going to be, just about a month old.
Yeah.
So if the circumstances for that are, similar to what he had to do the first time, like, yeah, I mean, and I guess there's still it's possible he may have a level of, of hearing loss. I don't know. But it seems like just from having been
I don't
around
think
him
so. Yeah. I don't
for,
think so.
for a week, it seems like he's responding to sounds.
Yeah.
Trucks, he's responding to the sound of our voices. He's responding to the shushing. He's responding to white noise. He's responding to all of that stuff.
When you drop the F-bomb in the kitchen, he's like, hey.
Yeah. Yeah. When I'm like, hey, just fucking be cool, man. Just fucking be cool. I'm warming this bottle up. Just be cool.
You burned the steak.
That's a stressful thing for, parents. Your logical mind is not like,
well, Bridget was freaking out.
Just like you haven't slept. Our wives, you've just gone through this experience
but it's our role in a I hate to say traditional role. It's our job to make sure that they're comfortable. Everybody's safe.
Sure.
And so she feels safe. And when it happened with us, Bridget was completely freaked out. Mm-hmm. And I said, everything's fine. No matter what, it's all fine. It's going to be fine.
Yeah.
Because if you lose your shit, then what do we have? We've got to, we have to be as genuinely sweet and helpful as we can be, even though we haven't gone through that.
Right. Yeah, you're still in it together and you still need to be, and it's, so yeah, you have to say, I'm sure there's another explanation. And even if there's
we'll figure it out.
This is the situation, we will figure it out. Like there's nothing that's beyond our ability to figure it out.
Yeah.
So yeah, then we come home. We came home last Thursday, a week ago yesterday. And oh man, and it's just been a blur since then. Like
how's he sleeping?
How it is
he sleeping? Yeah, I know. Yeah. How's he sleeping? Is he?
I mean, at this stage, he's really only sleeping for like 3 hours at a stretch. So
that's like me now for some reason. I think this shot got me.
So now you're like, all right, well, that's just he's sleeping for 3 hours at a stretch. Yeah. He's hungry as shit. He's eating so much. I'm doing, bottle feeding at night and all that. Washing pump parts, washing bottle parts, doing the feeding. So
did you guys get that little grass thing where you put the bottles in the little grass thing so that it can drain?
Oh yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Oh my God. I can't believe you guys are doing that. To have to do that again. And you're almost my age.
Yes. Yeah. It's definitely, I will say, but we fed Ava through, bottle fed Ava all the time because she just wouldn't laugh. I mean, man, another aspect of this.
Well, that was the same thing. But she breastfed a couple times. Then it just wasn't. It's just because every baby is different. You don't know what's going to work.
And I think as guys, we have this. You're sort of fed. You're fed. You're not pushed it, but it's like the easiest thing in the world. It's the most natural thing in the world. Everybody can do it. Everybody should be able to do it. And the reality, at least in that I've observed, is that that's not always the case. For some people, it's incredibly easy, but for others, it's incredibly difficult. And it happens for us that it's incredibly difficult. Our babies are just like, Ava could not get like a sufficient latch. And so we bottle fed her most of the time. McKenna pumped and then we bottle fed her. Yep. And it was the same thing for the first like week of this. He's just like, he just either wants to nurse and like suckle and to relax, or he wasn't like not drinking anything. So we're pumping and bottle feeding, and you're
And
like,
it's listen,
oh shit, it hurts. It's like it's painful. I can see how painful it is on my wife's face and like the way her body reacts to it. Like, fuck, bro. Oh my God. That's not a thing that I don't know. Maybe for women, once they start doing the research and they, before they have children, they realize like, oh God, this is actually really difficult. Or they have friends for whom it's been difficult. But for me, I have
to qualify this by it's two men talking about what
right. So I'm
very difficult things women have to deal with.
Like looking at like my own observation of it is, man, I think that because I think my wife had the same expectation going into it, that it was going to be really like kind of cake, and it was only when she had problems with it and it was a struggle did she talk to other people about how big of a struggle it was, and they were like, oh totally, I totally know exactly what you're talking about. I had a lot of the same issues. It's like, is anybody saying anything about this before? That's
the thing, is everybody puts on Facebook or something on their should be social media like everything's fantastic, when in actuality it isn't. Like, there are a lot of things that are happening in people's lives that they don't, they pretend aren't happening.
Sure.
But when in actuality, you're not alone ever.
No.
Like depression, anxiety, and things like that, especially now with all the stuff that people are going through, to see people pretending like they're not going through that frustrates.
Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure. So we're doing it. Bottle feeding, 2 a.m., 5 a.m., whatever, man. And it's, I think the thing that really benefited me, like Ava was a moderately difficult baby. Like she wasn't colicky, but she definitely was very, very, very fussy for the first like 2 months of it, to the point where I was like, what the fuck are we doing? And
you get into years of it until you kind of know what the personality is going to be.
And so, and it was, and then she made a turn and we figured it all out. The good thing about having another, the second baby is it is a little bit in some ways like riding a bike. You're like, okay, I know what to do. I know the calming techniques. I know the burping techniques. I'm not going to make the amateur mistakes that I made the first time. I can get this. I know how to do this. And it comes back pretty quickly. But now you've got a toddler at home who's just like, every time you're like, okay, shh. Okay, we're going to sleep. She's like, what's going on in here? And you're like, oh my God. I'm going to go outside. You're like, oh my God, please just be quiet. Why?
Because you have a brother now.
Oh my God.
And I know you're going to be jealous. I get it. There's a new person here.
It's kind of, she's not jealous, but she's definitely, she loves him. She likes him. She's really into him. When he cries, it really freaks her out. She's like, I'm going into my room and I'm closing the door. And she'll walk into her room and like close the door behind her.
You're like, me too.
Yeah. And like the other night, my mother-in-law was over, and my mother-in-law has sort of been my daughter's buddy. Like my mother-in-law is like, I'm going to give her all the attention. And then when she naps, I'll bond with the baby, because that's just what, that's what we presume that Ava needs at this point, is like somebody to feel like they're on her side. Sure. And so, and for her to not feel neglected. And last night, my mother-in-law, we were finishing dinner and my mother-in-law was holding my son, and Ava goes over to her. She goes, put him down.
Or I'm going to put him down.
Put him down. I want you to put him down. It's like,
we're getting in the car and we're putting this thing down.
You put
where's the closest fire station?
Like, how do you even know about that? You're 2.5.
I'm doing my research.
Yeah. So it's
I'm watching your old show. Don't watch our show.
It's going well. So like, he's not a particularly fussy baby. He's eating like a lot. He's eating like 3 ounces of feeding, and he's still hungry. And that's like way above what a baby who's a week old should be eating. But yeah, if that's what he wants, that's what he wants. But yeah, you're just like, you're still tired, even though you're like, okay, I'm in the groove. I know what I'm doing. You've got the toddler. So there's no breaks. There's no breaks whatsoever. This is my break. This is my break for the week.
I don't know what made me think of this, but I walked out front today, and my neighbors across the street, they've got a son who plays baseball, and he got a scholarship to go play baseball. But
Mhm.
over the years of his life that they've lived there, I've been around for aspects of that. And so that he was pitching with a friend of his because he's a pitcher. And just thinking about for both you and I, all that goes into what it is we do. I don't think certainly people without children don't understand, because I remember being asked at work, like, what did it change for you? And you can't describe it to someone.
No, you're like everything.
It's
Everything.
Yeah. Yeah. Somebody without children, if you try to describe to them what it is, because I think a lot of it's just organic, and we I hate that word, but it is. You just you naturally become a father, and or whatever scenario is manifesting itself in your life. But the changes, you just can't. It's not describable.
No, it's profound. It's profound. It's
every fiber of your being. It has so many different layers. The onion's the size of your house. How many layers it has? Yeah. I mean, seriously, like there's so many different things that come from raising children and having children, and then, messing up here and there, or being awesome here and there, or whatever, or just the day-to-day life, and just maintaining.
Yeah.
It's very unique.
Yeah. Oh, no, it definitely is. It definitely is. That's one of the number one reason why infuriate me, but I would always just like shake my head whenever anybody was like, well, I got a puppy. That's kind of like having a kid, right? You're like, no, it's not fucking anything like having a kid. It's like having a puppy. It's not like having a child.
You can leave your puppy with your neighbors. I'm not leaving my children with my neighbors.
You can leave a bowl of food out for your puppy, and if you do that with your child, they'll get taken away from you. And you might wind up in jail.
Yeah.
You
Again, CPS took my babies.
You can't leave them alone for any length of time whatsoever, because they might stop breathing if they rub against the wrong thing.
Right.
That doesn't happen with puppies.
It's especially at this point, and more for you than me, but you're making sure they're not putting forks in like sockets and
yes,
that kind of stuff. It's like that's how base it is.
Exactly. For my toddler, I don't have to push my knives, if I'm using a knife, to the back of the counter because I'm worried that my puppy's going to grab it. I'm worried that my daughter is going to reach up and grab the fucking knife.
Yeah.
And then I've got a toddler with a knife.
I have to come down to their level, not for my dog Bitsy, but for my children, and say the oven is on.
Yes.
The burners are on. Do not touch them.
Yeah. No, it doesn't. Having a dog does not prepare you for fucking anything else other than prepare you for having a dog. Yeah. That's it. You want to have another dog? Then you might be a little bit prepared. But if you're like, oh, it's not prepare me for having a baby, like there's no fucking way. There's no fucking way.
Yeah.
There's no fucking way. You don't have to like coddle your dog to go to sleep because they are incapable of knowing how to do it by themselves at first.
Yeah, you lock them in a crate.
Yeah, you just like, you'll go to sleep. You'll figure it out. Somebody was like, God, when we were at work, somebody was like, isn't it kind of crazy that like giraffes can walk just moments after they're born, but it takes humans kind of a long time to figure out how to walk? I was like, yeah, they got 4 legs. It's like getting a fucking table to stand. They just do it. Humans have 2 legs. We're bipedal. Like, oh, it's totally different.
Yeah.
I was like, are you kidding me? What are you trying to say? That giraffes are better than us? That's the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard.
Wait. Oh my gosh. There's
like, oh my God. How did this car learn to roll? Well, it's on 4 wheels. You want to teach a unicycle to roll by itself? That's a little more complicated.
It's amazing how many people are in this world, and how many interesting things they have to think.
Yeah. Oh my God. I couldn't believe it.
Well, but I believe that the world's flat, so I don't know where you land on that.
I don't know. I've never walked off the edge before, but then again, I don't know. I've never tried.
Oh my gosh.
I've walked to the edge of the beach, but I noticed. So who knows? Maybe the ocean ends as far as I can see, and maybe on the other side of that, that's where the computer simulation stops.
Right. Oh my goodness.
I don't know. So that's what's going on with me. What's going on with you?
Let's see here.
Yeah. So we didn't do this last week because I had a baby.
Well, the problem is I don't stop writing.
You got 2 weeks in notes. I got like 5 more minutes left. Like rock through it. What's your like hit of hits?
Let's see. Oh, well, there's no hits. Well, here's one. Did you grow up fighting? Did you fight when you were growing up?
No, not really.
Never got in a fight? You never got hit in the face?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, I have been hit in the face plenty of times.
No, I don't mean like when you're sparring.
Because when I'm boxing,
no. I mean, somebody said to you,
not since like 8th grade. I don't think I've been in a fight since I was in 8th grade.
Yeah, I went to 9 schools, so.
Plus, you're very punchable.
I got roughed up, and I roughed up. Let's see. Oh, mailbox baseball. Did you ever do this stuff? Like when you were
no.
But we would do that because look, I'm from Virginia, and so we would just drive around and do stupid shit like that, like smash pumpkins. And one time we went by a mailbox with a baseball bat, but I was driving. I wasn't the perpetrator of this. If it's a criminal act, this whole thing's a joke.
This is a story that somebody else told me.
I don't know what what do they call it? The statute of limitations.
Yeah. I don't know.
Smashing a baseball.
I'm smashing a
mailbox. So, but my buddy, he took the brunt because he hit it. And what they would do was, because so many people were smashing their mailboxes, they would take a pole and put it up through the mailbox. So that when you hit the mailbox, it hit the pole.
Yeah. Instead
of destroying the mailbox.
It destroyed your hands.
No, it bounced back and smashed his whole window.
Oh my goodness. I heard a story like that was somebody filled their mailbox with concrete and put it back up.
Yeah. Well, it's the same thing.
They're like, no, fuck it. Fuck you.
A steel metal pole that went all the way to the top of the mailbox. So you can still put mail in there. But if somebody tried to hit it, it's going to smash their car.
Oh my God. Wow. Jesus. You got to feel like a real asshole after that.
Dude, I have more stories, but I feel like we should be still talking about your child instead of talking.
He's smashing mailboxes. He's terrorizing the neighborhood already.
Oh yeah, I just saw this, that 80% of women like a dad bod.
Woo, good thing.
That came from Fitness Magazine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they did a poll, and 80% of the women that they polled said they like a male bod.
So
or a dad bod, excuse me, not a
dad bod. Dad bod. Like
a dad bod is my body. I'm dad. You do yoga and you're standing on your head in the yard. I'm not.
Yeah. I had always thought that a dad bod was like dad only goes to the gym and does bench press and bicep curls, and that's it. So like,
well, that's the thing.
Like I've got through here, and then just the stomach is like, what? I'm still drinking a ton of beer, so I've got a good layer of let's say warmth down here.
Well, that's my thing. Well, because I rode crew, and I did a ton of sports and all those kind of things. Yeah, and I've got I still have an erg here, but. Yeah, and then just here, it's just tummy.
Yeah,
but you got it if you need it.
You're burly up top.
Listen, 5'2", 130 pounds, 33 years old. I'm ready to go.
Peak physical condition. I'm in peak physical condition. Oh my God. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess I would be curious about that. And what the reasoning behind that is. Does it look like if you're like super cut and really, really muscular that it looks like that's all you do and that's your fucking life. Cause that's the reality.
That might be, yeah.
Is that it's like, it's an all consuming thing. It's like, you got to do it like it's your fucking job. And that doesn't just count for the gym. It also counts for what you eat. And like, if you're, oh, I can't eat pizza because it's not my cheat day, then it's like, well, all right, but that's not very fun.
I kind of just want to cuddle with you and I don't care because I just want to cuddle with you.
Yeah. You don't seem like you're a whole lot of fun to be around if you're, those are your choices and that's cool. Everybody's free to make their own choices and live their life the way they want to. But if you're not going to, if you're looking for a partner and you're like, whatever, one of you is vegan and the other one's not, like, that's cool if that's your choice. But if that, if at a certain point, like we can't agree on a restaurant because I want to get a burger and you think that I'm murdering something, then maybe we're not going to get along that well. Well, we'll get along, but maybe we're not going to be like ideal life partners. I would be curious. I wonder if there are people that are like that. One person's vegan, the other person's not.
It's interesting that they can,
like James Carville and his wife.
Yeah. It's interesting that they can describe somebody as having a dad bod or dad or a was it a dad bod?
Dad bob is the haircut that dads have after like
is that what we're rocking? My hair's a disaster today. I don't know what happened,
bro. Haven't showered.
I glued it on.
Haven't combed my hair in 24 hours.
but I don't know what they would describe a mom bot as, but I love I love a woman that looks like a woman. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
sure.
there's
I actually have no idea.
That's had kids and has lived life and things like that. I mean, I love that.
Sure. Yeah. Of course.
Yeah. I don't want somebody that's going to kick my ass.
Well, I think there's something different too about it, but I don't disparage that either. No. If that's what you decided to do there's nothing disparaging about this conversation. No,
to totally qualify it.
Yeah, I think the broader aspect of that is, the acceptance of all types of bodies, right?
Yes.
Like, and that there's no sort of one ideal.
And whatever applies to your life applies to your life.
Yeah.
And it's
absolutely.
Okay.
And you're beautiful and it's good.
Yeah.
And it's all good, man. However
Are you talking to me? Are you saying I'm beautiful?
No, the women that watch our podcast.
Oh, yeah.
You're fine.
Watch this podcast. What you mean are not the wives that don't watch it?
That don't watch it. Yeah, no, it's true. That is like a little bit of a, anytime online you would see somebody be like, this is a mom bot or whatever, mom jeans. It's sort of seen as disparaging. So I see what you're saying with the dad bod element of it. Listen, guys, we've had it, we've had it good for a long time. If this is the one thing that they're allowed to like, that,
well, if they like it, it's great.
You're allowed to take a knock on. It's like, listen, this is just a little bit of the sexism that we've been enduring for, centuries. Then fine. You take it on the chin.
Listen, and my wife is gorgeous. There's no issue in that department at all. And so is yours. But, yeah, I don't think about it that way. You know what I mean? I don't think about mom bod. I don't, say dad bod.
No,
like if somebody called me on the phone and said, do you like mom bods? I'd be like,
what the fuck are you talking
about? Prank caller.
Yeah.
Prank caller. I don't know what you mean. Because everybody has a different, what are you talking about?
Yeah. I guess it's also sort of a self-selecting group of people who are going to answer a survey like that.
Yeah. I guess. They're just calling single people with dad issues.
Whatever. You're filling up. Yeah. You're filling it out online or whatever. You're like, yeah, no, I feel totally comfortable talking about that, answering questions about what type of bod I prefer.
Well, I just got uncomfortable with bringing that up.
I don't know. A bot, just a bot. I just don't want any floating heads. That's all. That's it. Just as long as there's some part of a body there that's more than just the head, then great. Then we're all good.
Did you ever? I think I don't think we did talk about this, but like TPing houses or forking lawns.
No. Forking lawns?
You buy a ton of forks
Uh-huh.
and you spend the night putting them all in the person's lawn. So when they come out in the morning, they've got nothing but forks. That or water cupping a college dorm room.
Water cupping a college dorm. What does that mean?
So
putting a cup of water on the door? Oh.
You take the entire room and you start at the back and you put little things of like, the little spit water cups.
Uh-huh.
And you do the entire room. So at the end of it, you've walked all the way out the door and there's like 500 cups of water in there. So when they open the door, it's just.
I know. I'm beginning to think that I definitely didn't pull any pranks.
We went in our youth group leader, we went to the theater because we know he was going to the movies, and we saran wrapped his car. Like saran wrapped the entire car and then covered it in whipped cream.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we were creative.
That's very creative. And it seems like you had a lot of time.
We did. And I had a job.
You had a lot of time.
Yeah.
No. In high school, no. I mean, where I grew up, it was like, I'm not gonna say it was farm. I mean, there were farms, but it was like, kind of like Martha Stewart farmland now. You had 5 acres. So if you were gonna like fork somebody's fucking yard, you needed a lot of fucking forks. Otherwise,
we grew up in areas like this.
Who put 35 forks in my yard? What the fuck is going on here? Or TP out? No, I would
be
afraid of getting
200.
I would be afraid of getting shot. Like we lived in the middle of nowhere where there were no street lamps or anything like that. We didn't even have a mailbox. We had a post office box.
We would TP all the time, and you have to get 40 things of toilet paper, and you go at like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and you're just throwing them, and you have to get good at it because it has to unravel.
Go over. Yeah.
And then one morning I got TP'd, but we did it for people that we liked. You didn't do it to people you didn't like.
Yeah.
However, so one morning we got TP'd. My dad's like, "That's funny. You're cleaning it up." And the only way to get it out is you take a hose, like with a nozzle.
Yeah.
You just start spraying, trying to get it out of the tree.
Just waiting for like wads of toilet paper to like wash into your gutter.
No, you had to pick it up. It was a
mess. Well, you got to get it out of the gutter. Oh yeah. Oh my God. No, I never did anything like that.
You didn't do any of those things?
No. As I said, I was afraid of getting shot.
Nobody was shooting us.
I don't know. Like if somebody
realized it was teenagers just, fucking around.
If somebody wandered onto our property in the middle of the night, it'd be like, that person's here on purpose. Shoot him. I don't know.
Not if it's a teenager.
You didn't do any of that stuff? In the dark? No. No. I don't know. If I had 2 hours to spend, I wasn't going to spend it throwing toilet paper at somebody's house.
Well, now that you're an adult, you're welcome to come over to my house and TP.
I got tons of time now.
Yeah, don't fork the lawn. That really is
me and my baby will be over to throw. I'll get it wrong. I'll wind up whipping forks at your car.
Yeah. I'm like, all you did was damage.
Car is dented. This is like real damage. It cost me thousands of dollars to fix.
Whereas forking your lawn actually aerates it and it makes it better.
It's actually a good thing. It's a good thing. Yeah. No, I didn't. No, we didn't do anything like that. Because again, all of my friends, plus I went to a private high school. And so all of my friends were like,
you just piss a lot of people off.
45 miles away from me. So
is that true?
Yeah. I couldn't.
You had to travel 45 miles to get to school?
My school was probably 20 miles away.
No way. How did you get there?
I drive. We had to drive. There was a bus. It was called our bus was called the Far Bus because we were all very far away.
So you had to get up at like 5 o'clock in the morning?
No, pretty early. Yeah.
Did you get a scrape on your forehead there?
Where?
looks like you have a scrape.
Right here.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've also just aged a lot in the last week. It's definitely not a scrape though.
Oh, it might be your hair.
Oh, maybe
It's your
hair.
it's your hair. Yeah. That
All right. What am I looking up here?
looks like you got scratched.
There we
Somebody
go.
somebody had enough.
And then my house. Oh no, I was trying to find from my location. This is fascinating, by the way.
Oh, this
I'm trying to
but
figure
I'll
out-
tell you this. So the other thing we would do, and this is a joke for statute of limitations, we would, so when it would snow and ice, we would pull our car up behind a car that was on a hill and the road had iced over and bump the bumper and the car would roll down the hill.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God. All right. So my school was, excuse me. Yeah. At least 20 miles away from my house. And then my other friends were north of there by another, whatever, 10 or 15 miles away.
Goodness gracious.
So yeah, no. So it was not super conducive to TPing somebody's house or.
So there was no shooting fireworks at each other or BB guns or anything?
No, we did get fireworks and my dad got fireworks once. We were driving back from Florida and bought a bunch of fireworks, planned to set them off for the 4th of July, started shooting fireworks off. And my neighbors on both sides of our home, who they had horses, came over and were like, can you please stop? It's really freaking out our horses. So then we had to stop shooting the fireworks. I'm
learning a lot about you.
Yeah.
These are all the things I've done and I haven't even scratched the surface. I'm pushing cars down streets.
No, that's like real damage, man. Oh my God. No.
Yeah. You never egged a house?
No.
Really?
No. What did you grow up in the 50s?
No, you just egg.
I know. I understand the concept of egging a house. I'm telling you that I didn't do it. I think maybe one time we like talked about it and somebody was like, hey, they'll take the paint off. We're like, oh, well, that doesn't seem cool.
Yeah, I mean, this is just grown up stuff.
No. I don't know what you're talking about.
Did you ever?
I know.
Did you ever like keg party in the forest?
No, they were at people's.
Jesus,
houses.
there's a lot of no's.
They were at people's houses.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like where parents would go away, but not in the woods.
I threw a party at my parents' house, and mom and dad, if you're listening, well, you already know. But so I had all these people over. I put a DJ in the kitchen because we had like an island in the kitchen, and so he put his Technique 1200s and he's DJing it, and just tons of kids over. Afterwards, just like the movies, there's beer bottles and cans all over the yard and everywhere. And I clean it all up before they get there. My dad walks out and he used to smoke a pipe. And so he had an ashtray. And the only thing I didn't see was the ashtray. And there were 300 cigarette butts in this ashtray. He was like, what is this? I was like, oh, shit. They had a party.
I was really stressed out over the weekend.
Yeah.
Really stressed out.
Can you imagine?
I smoked them all by myself. I don't know what to tell you. I'm quitting though, because it was awful.
I mean, I'm not kidding. It was a mound. And that's the only thing I didn't see. Like I walked around everywhere. I picked up everything and there was everything. And that's the one thing I didn't find. I was like, oh,
that's
no.
funny. I did have a party at my house when I was in college. And we called it Willstock because it was out in the field at my house.
That sounds fantastic.
And but yeah, no, and people slept in tents and outside, and some people in my house. But
that's
yeah,
awesome.
I was, I think, how old was I? It must have been like
12,
20, 21. We were all 21. It wasn't like we were doing anything illegal.
Sure.
And my parents were like, yeah, your friends cleaned up really well. Yeah. We cleaned up everybody. It was like, they were 21.
Oh, but they consented. They said it's fine.
No, but when they got back, I was like, oh, I had a few people over. Actually, it was like a bunch of people. Actually, we called it Willstock. I was very proud. We were all very proud of it. But that was it. It was pretty low key. I mean, it was, low key, but that's it. No like pranks, no really ne'er-do-well aside from joining a gang and selling crystal meth.
Well, that's a big jump.
That was it. That was my only. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, that was it. I mean, I must have been a very boring kid. Is this what kids did?
We used to, yeah,
section.
we
I'm very
would.
curious if this is the thing that a lot of people did. Or
Yeah.
Who is the anomaly here? Am I the anomaly, or is
Yes.
Pete the anomaly, or is it? I guess maybe somewhere in between.
Yeah, with yeah, exactly. It's I probably did a little bit more than others, but we also used to race around in the hills in our cars, and there were a couple times that it got real dodgy.
Mm-hmm.
We'd leave people in the woods and
like bodies.
No,
like
you just have a buddy and you're messing with him, kind of like a
and
fraternity.
Then you left them in the woods.
Yeah, but I mean, he's walking distance from where we are. But we're like, he'd get out to take a piss, and we just take off.
I would never, if that happened to one person that I was with, I would never get out of the car. I would never, like, I'm never getting out. They're like, no, we're good. It's cool. We're gonna go over here. I'd be like, I'll stay right here. Thank you.
What was interesting is where I lived, it had these roads that were extremely hilly, and you could jump your car, but it's in the middle of the woods, and so we would jump our cars on these hilly roads, which it's amazing we're alive.
Well, not me apparently, but you, yes.
You know what's funny? The other thing, I bought a new car, and I put deer whistles on it because we were in deer country.
Oh yeah.
The day I put the deer whistle on, I hit a deer.
Yeah, you know why? Do you know why that is? Because the
deer
they
run toward.
They don't know which way to run. They don't know to run away from it. They know that it freaks them out, but they don't know that it's like, I should run away from the road. They run in whatever fucking random direction. It's actually worse because we had deer too. It's actually worse because you could, if you see a deer, you could slow down, or it could not react until you've gone by. But if you got the whistle, it starts getting all fucking crazy before. At least that's what we were told when I was like, I don't know, everybody that I know had hit a deer, or a deer run head first into their car. And I was like, why don't we get the deer whistles? And my dad was like, yeah, no, it just makes them more confused and more likely to run straight into your car.
And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Your dad was right.
I remember being in the car with my dad, and we hit a deer, and the headlight casing popped out of the car and rolled down the street in the headlights. And I remember being a kid thinking that was its skull. And that was a fairly traumatizing moment.
I also had the same problem with radar detectors. Those don't work.
No. By the time and
apparently they were illegal back then.
Yeah. Are they still illegal?
I don't know.
Who knows?
I haven't driven in a year. I've got the same tank of gas since March.
Doesn't matter in Los Angeles. You're only going 25 miles an hour anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I've got a real jazzy car, and I can't use it.
No. Just that.
However, though, our producer has a really jazzy car.
Mm-hmm.
And so he showed up the other night in it, and he was like, let's go through the canyons.
Oh, is this the video that you sent me?
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, what the fuck is going on in this video?
Well, because he goes in those car groups that go around with Lamborghinis and Ferraris and things like that. And he's like, let's, and this is way out of my wheelhouse, but he's like, come on, let's go. And I just jumped in. I was like, all right, fine. This is something at least to talk about here. He was barreling it through the canyons. It was insane. He's a really good driver.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then he had these little, caveat canyon roads that he just had to tear through.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, okay, that's good. That's enough. Let's go home. And we were in Malibu at that point. Like,
oh wow.
Let's go back.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but he's a good driver.
I should hope so.
Yeah.
Otherwise.
Well, because it reminded me of high school when I thought we were going to die every time I was in the passenger seat of somebody else's car. We're flying through the woods, jumping them and things. So I've evolved though. It's a jazzy Volvo, but it's a Volvo.
It's a family car. It's a jazzy family car, but it's still
Yeah.
a family car.
Yeah, it's just-
Still got car seats in it, man. It's not gonna drift around corners.
Anyway.
All right, but I gotta jump.
Yeah, I congratulations so much. Enjoy the pizzas and then enjoy the stuff.
will.
I am so happy for you guys.
Thank you.
I know that it's not going to be an easy run, and we'll have wonderful things to talk about.